Good afternoon, how you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shotgun. You're very welcome back to the channel. Well, I had another 3 days off, I think. I think it's about 3 days since I made a video. Maybe even 4, but there we go. I had a few days off. I'm back, and we're going to talk about this Ashley Harrison Wharncliffe. I don't know whether anybody's seen the unboxing of this, but I was very excited. This is one of them knives that I gave Ashley carte blanche. Go ahead, just make it look pretty for me. So, did he do it? I'll leave you to decide that. I've got my opinion. So this is it. And this is a two-bladed, as the Wharncliffe was, made by Lord Wharncliffe, hence where the name come from. And it's that sort of serpentine nearly shape on the base of the spine, but not quite, but it's just a Wharncliffe. It sort of sits flat, but at the base here you have a curve where the bolster is turned around at the bottom a little bit, but it is just a beautiful pattern. And this is only my second true sort of Wharncliffe pattern. I recently showed this one from Stephen Cocker, another Sheffield maker, and Ashley's had a lot to live up to. This is a beautiful knife. I absolutely adore it. So let's see where they stand. First of all, this one is a behemoth of a knife. For me, it's a behemoth. Let me just show you how big this is. So there we go. This is, let me get there. This is about 4 3/8. Yeah, about 4 3/8. I'm going to call that 4 3/8. And yeah, about 4 3/8. Good size of a knife, and absolutely big, beautiful. It's I have a large hand, so it fills my hand. And the reason that's unusual, and I'm sort of saying that, is that the blades on this were actually small, and they are small. This is typically a real work-in knife. It's on a single spring. It has a pull on this. Now, I get Ashley to put a good pull on mine. It's about a 7, which when you consider this is a two-bladed knife, but it's only on one back spring, and we'll talk about that beautiful thing in a minute. So there's the Wharncliffe, and this is the typical style that Lord Wharncliffe designed. I think it is, look, it's full up here. I can get a real full hand. So if I want to do, especially if I'm working with wood or anything like that, it's a nice thin blade stock, but it's a sturdy thin. This would be for sort of more the heavier type gauge material. You're going to take chunks out of wood. This is the heavy duty bit. And also you've got that delicate bit for the fine points. But you can reach here beautifully. When you hold hand there, you've got great support at the back here. So if you want to push with any power, you're fully supported. I love that. The blade length, let's just do that. And I sillily took this off. So here's the blade length. The cutting edge is 2 1/4, around there, about 2 1/4. Not far off 2 1/4. So fully open. Although this is a 4 3/8 knife, fully open, it's only 6 3/4. But this is a proper working knife. It feels so nice in your hand, and a lot to do with that is this stag that Ashley got. You've got a fatter part up here coming down to the thinner end, and whatever way it just works, it sits in the hand. This curve is amazing. You don't feel the secondary blade at all. I can honestly say that. Because the stag's much wider, it just covers it. You could work all day with this, and this is a proper work knife. And the fact that you can work all day with it can be a big difference, because a lot of knives are said to be work knives, but if you had to use them for more than an hour without a pair of gloves on, you'd be raw by the end of the day. This would not cause any hassle whatsoever, and you can get right up into the ricasso here, which I love. A ricasso that gives you that little bit of extra security just in case. I'm telling you, this is an 8 to break it. It's an 8 to break. Just super spring tension. I like that. That's what I ask for with all my Ashleys. There's a good blade on it. The secondary blade on this is this gorgeous little spay blade or spear blade, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it a spay because I think that's exactly what it is. This is perfectly flat up here. isn't it? Yeah, it is perfectly flat. So when you take it, this blade has a cutting edge of about 1 5/8, about 1 5/8 cutting edge. It's a stocky little blade because you shortened it down so you got this thicker tip to the end of it. Real working. And even if you're doing it, cutting a bowl out or something, if you're carving, this is a perfect blade for cutting a bowl out. You can go round in a circle and start the cut off and get that deep cut as you're going around. Did it come sharp? Well, let's be honest with you. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It didn't come particularly sharp. It was all right. A rough edge had been put on it. I've taken it away and give it a nice sharpen. So now both blades are absolutely lovely cutters. But I do that with most knives, as you know. That's not a fail. But listen to that. That is just a super little work knife. Really enjoying it. But here's the thing. When you've got this blade out, trying to get this blade open can sometimes be actually opened as easy as it's ever done. I think it's maybe just wearing in. But this is an 8. An absolute 8, no doubt whatsoever. And if I open this blade, here's my worry. The spring is so strong, that is up to an 8.5, 9. So because it's on one spring, and you really don't want to have both blades open at the one time. And not that you'll ever need to do that, but just in case, even to show it here, I don't like to do it because you're putting an awful lot of pressure on an already tight back spring. Again, my choice of I like a tight back spring. The back of this is where it stands out. This is where it stands out. Look at that file work. Actually done this sort of, I'm not sure what you call the brass liner. It's like coin work, but it's not. It's like filigree coin work. And then his father chases this up by hand, one going this way and one going this way up to the top. And they cut off beautifully just before the terminations. I just adore that. I have another knife like that, and I'm so glad he chose it. Well, he knows how much I like the other one. This is just perfection. This is what custom workmanship is. I mean, this is done by hand. Both of them do them by hand. They are both craftsmen of the highest quality in my eyes. I love that. That's what I pay the extra bucks for. This little bit like here. So the rest of the knife, it came in stag. Again, I gave him choice. I said, just whatever material you think suits the knife. And I'll have to say, although not flashy, it's funny, I've become a stag lover, but I know not flashy, but my goodness, is it warm and comfortable in your hand. It gives that little fatter, it's fatter than most bone you're going to get. You can see that depth in the middle. And it's sort of chamfered down here. It's chamfered down quite a lot in here. It's just so warm to touch in the hand, which I adore. The bolsters are brass, and the liner's obviously brass. I'm not really a brass lover. And I'm still not sure if I'm really a brass lover, but it's nice. Again, I like to have some challenges sometimes. I haven't got a knife in brass. I don't think I've one more. I might have one Rough Rider, but I don't think offhand that I've any with a brass bolsters and end cap. It's beautiful, and it goes with the beautiful stag that I've got on here. And this is like an old piece of stag because you can see where colour has bled in. It's not just a fresh piece of stag, I think, but it is lovely. Nice and smooth. This has been handled in my eyes, and I just think it is beautiful. But the show side is just spectacular. It is beautifully mated up to every part of the knife. Beautifully done here, mated. There's no gaps or anything where it joins up. And look, I micro when I'm doing a review. When I lift the knife up and check it, I'm checking for fit and finish. And I know there's certain things in fit and finish that I can let go. There's no problem. Like blade center isn't a thing. These blades didn't rub until I started pulling them up and throwing them down. And that's a multi-bladed knife. If you're not careful, especially when you're opening, and these are on a single blade, but you can see how well these are put in, and they don't run the sides until I put my finger in and you push across. And I'm not that gentle. I just lift the knife and open it. I don't. Look, I bought this. It's going to be a user. It's just a stunning piece of cutlery. It's a stunning piece. So if I get a couple of rubs on it, so what? So it really just doesn't bother me, because the fit and finish when it came, these blades were not rubbing. There wasn't any marks on them, but it's when you open and close, that's what you have to do. And a lot of people believe, that you should just be able to close a knife down. I'm one of them. If it rubs, well, unlucky. Unless you want to be really careful and open one, open the other, close. I don't do all that. So the fit and finish is beautiful. The only thing that I could point out, and I'm really looking for something to tell you, because it's better than just sitting saying nothing. The bolster here, the match up, there is a slight difference. Again, look what you're looking for. This is a handmade knife from start to finish. A handmade knife. It's slightly off there, and just ever so slightly off there too. But they're perfectly mated up to the materials. There's nothing that I could find in a handmade knife that I'm going to whinge about. These are not whinges. These are just me pointing it out, because you can guarantee that when I finish this video, somebody say, and that bolster didn't look right at the back. It looked a wee bit off. Well, yeah. Blow me down. I just couldn't care. The knife is perfectly made. It's perfectly made. It's been mated up where maybe the different sizes, that's fine, because a custom maker can do that. He can mate it up. They're not just at a box full that he lifts out, sticks on, and if it fits, it fits. It doesn't. This is custom made. So if it's a wee bit short, you just mate the handle material up to it, and this is mated up professionally. No qualms about it. It is stunning. I really, really enjoy this knife. I love it. So I give it a quick sharpen, as I showed you, and there is no other bad things about this knife. This is a beautiful big behemoth of a knife. This is my biggest actually so far, and it sort of surprised me when I put it up against. Here's another Ashley here, my big fat spay blade. Look at the difference in height. I always thought, now this is a full, large hand knife as well, and this one's even bigger. I'm just going to put them down. I'll put this down. I'll put some knives up against it so as you can see. This was my Ashley big fat spay blade. Now, the difference in this is you have that larger blade, but it's just a smaller knife. Can you see how much that has softened up quite a lot from when I first got it? Now, not to the stage where it's still a 7, still a good 7, but a real great walk and talk on it, as you can tell. But it is smaller than that. Here's a case copperhead. This is the large case copperhead, 2-bladed, but on 2 springs. And it is about 1/4 of an inch smaller than that. I think I'm going to say roughly that's 4 1/4. This one would be 4. And what else have I got? Here you go. There's the Stephen Cocker Wharncliffe that I got not so long ago, and it would be again 1/4 of an inch smaller. So it's a good size of a knife. What else have I got? I've only got one knife that's equal to this, and this is my custom Romano, which is slightly bigger. This is the large trapper from Romano, and again it has a beautiful large clip point. That's my baby. That is my baby. I compare other knives to this, and there's just nothing coming close yet, but it's silly price. You have to be a knife lover to want to pay this much money for this knife. And that's it. Again, let me put it again. Here's a Boker, which is that sort of serpentine shape, and it's a slim trapper. Again, at least 1/4 of an inch sort of smaller. I have another good size. This is my slim trapper from Shatton Morgan, which is it's only a small bit, a little bit smaller than it. This is another beautiful knife, but this is a single blade. This is the large clip. Beautiful knife to show off. So I'll tell you what else I've got. Well, we're on the subject of British. We showed you Stephen Cocker. This is a Wolstenholme, and this is one I got at the Sharp Show last year, which is coming up in November, and I can't wait. This is beautiful. This was new old stock, a beautiful George Wolstenholme, single bladed, swell centered. Are they equal ended? Yeah, swell centered, equal end jack. Just a beautiful knife, beautiful in hand. Look at it. It's just as if it came straight from the showroom. This is my pride and joy. This is probably my favourite buy of all last year at Sharp Show. Look at the centering. Wolstenholme at his best. And here's somebody else who makes that brand of knife. Look at that. Look at that. This is Stephen Cocker. And look at the jigging, both free-handed jigging, which is just stunning. Love, love, love that. So here's the nice thing. You know, I very rarely have two knives of the same brand in the same shape, the same pattern. But I just had to have these. And to be honest with you, I think I'd ordered this before I even got this. Or was it? I can't remember now. But no, I ordered this after this, I think. But it's just, they're two knives, they're the same pattern, same blades. This one has the Wharncliffe as well. That's obviously that small but sturdy standard. Beautiful knife. And again, unless you're going to be picky, and I cut my nails today, so I have nothing to stick in. Beautiful little pen blade on this. That's the only difference. One's a pen, one's a spay. But to have two British custom makers that can make knives of this quality, and these are, you know, knives that are still under £200 by a long way. I mean, by a long way. About 100, I'm not sure what this is, probably about 100 and between 150, 180, depending on the materials. But that is just fantastic. I am so blessed to live in our little country that we have makers here that still make a knife that's a reasonable price for what you're getting. These are properly handmade knives in very old factories with very old machinery, and they don't want to change it because they want to keep the tradition going of handmade Sheffield knives. Love it. Absolutely love it. I feel very blessed. I've still to get used to the brass. I'm still not, now, I'm not saying I dislike it because I don't, there's nothing to dislike about it. It's just a different colour. And I love it with the stag, but I'm still not sure if it's what if I was going to pick it. And I gave Ashley carte blanche. I have no qualms whatsoever. And it does look, I mean, it really looks lovely against the stag. I've just never had a brass one. And I'm hoping, like most things, after a while, it'll just grow on me and it'll be absolutely super. Well, it will be super. It's a super knife. And these are both going to be users. But this is a real gentleman's carry. And this is, Bobby Big Nose. This is definitely going to be a work knife. Just a beautiful big one. But look, a work knife with a kick of class. It's just beautiful. It's like getting mugged with a millionaire. I just think it is beautiful. Love the both of them. Love the different sizes. Love that they're different custom makers here in the UK. Can't state that enough. Support your local custom makers. Just support them. And the best place to buy custom knives, probably anywhere, is the famous Sheffield shop. That's it. Just go to the famoussheffieldshop.co.uk and tell them what you're looking for, and they'll send you pictures of the knives that they've got in their store. They are very, very helpful people. Please go and see them. And they do a wide range, and it's all Sheffield-made knives. There you go. Ashley, thank you very much. And again, Stephen, I've already thanked you, but I really do thank you. I love this wee knife. It's been carried quite a bit since I've had it. And this one is going to get pocket time when I have my jeans on. This is not in my house trousers, because and actually, just let me give you a quick before you go away. I just want to see the weight, because it's not that heavy. It's a big solid knife, but it is only a single bladed knife. Let me get this up here and see if you can see what it is. There we go. It is, oh my gosh, for that size of a knife, can you see that? 3.3 ounces. That's nothing for that size. For a 4 3/4 knife, that is absolutely nothing. There you go. I knew it wasn't heavy. I just didn't realize it was that light. It's sort of because it fills your hand and you get a proper grip on it. I mean, this just stunning. Right, shut up. Enough of Ashley. He's going to get a big head. Beautiful knife, Ashley. Thank you very, very, very much. Now, and hopefully very soon, we're going to have Ashley and his father, the big cheese, the CEO of Arthur Wright and Co. Limited, Arthur Wright and Sons Limited, I should say. They're both going to be on, and it'll be nice to see somebody who can take charge of Ashley, because sometimes he gets a bit ruckus. He gets a bit rowdy. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll find out today, and I'll let you know later on in the week when they're coming. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.